Hi, hello, welcome. This is Abhiram Palam with SS Multimedia. Our lesson for today is breaking apart to multiply. Let's move on to our next example. Objective. Objective for today is learning how to break numbers to multiply. Let's move on to our first problem. 2 times 127. Now, to make this problem easier, instead of doing the algorithm way, we're gonna break 127 by breaking it up into hundreds, tens, and ones. And that if we do that, our problem becomes easier in a way. So let's try it out. So our first number here is 2. Let me write 2 right here. 2. Let me fix it. 2. Now we're gonna break up 127 from hundreds to tens, from tens to ones. So how we're gonna do that is, let me write the multiplication sign here. How we're gonna do that is we're gonna first look at our first number here, 1. So 1's in the hundreds place, so it would be 2 times 100 because the 1 is in the hundreds place. Even if it's a 2 in the hundreds place, it'll be 200, and if it's a 3, it would be 300. You get the point here. So whatever number is in the hundreds place, that number is 100, would be like 100. So we look at the tens place. 2 in the tens place, like we did in the hundreds place. Whatever number is in there, it's 100. So whatever number is in here, it's 10. So 2 is in the tens place. So it would be 2 times 20, because 2 is in the tens place. Okay. Now then we look at the ones place, 7. So we don't have to make that into any, we don't have to add any zeros or anything. We just gonna leave it at 7. So 2 times 7. Now what we're going to do is we're going to solve these multiplication problems, and we're going to add up all the answers we get for this. So 2 times 100, it would equal 200. That's our first answer for our first step of this problem. And then we have 2 times 20, so 2 times 2 equals 4. And then we add one more 0 right here, so it would be 40. And then 2 times 7 equals 14. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to add 200 plus 40 plus 14. And we're not going to add it like this, because you always have to remember that you always have to keep your numbers lined up. So 200, and then we have 40, and then we have 14. And now what we have to do is we have to add them up. So we first look at the ones place. 0 plus 0 equals 0, 0 plus 4 equals 4. That's in the ones place. Now let's move on to the tens place. 0 plus 4 equals 4, but plus 1 equals 5. And since we have nothing right here, all we have to do is just imagine we have zeros, so it would just be 2 plus 0, so 2. Our answer is 254. Now, and instead of doing it the algorithm way, which we line up 2 times 127, like line it up straight, instead of doing that, we can break them apart, and it's easier anyway, because you're breaking apart the hundreds to tens, tens to ones, which is easier. Let's move on to our next example here. 6 times 33. Now, before we start this problem, let's go back to our last problem. And let's look at this same way we did it. We broke up the hundreds to tens, tens to ones. So in this problem, let's do the same thing, but instead of breaking it from starting from the hundreds place, we're going to start from the tens because there's no hundred here. So then 6 times, and we look at our tens place. We have a 3, so it would be 3 0 because it's in the tens place. So 30. 6 times 30. And then we look at the ones place, which is a 3, so we leave that as 6 times 3. Now, if you do not know how you do it, like how you can do it this way, and you're used to doing it straight like this, I have a trick for you. So you first look at your this number to this number, 6 times 3. We all know what that is, so 18. And you know your multiplication facts, and you're probably thinking, what are we going to do with that remaining 0? Well, we're just going to add it because we cannot leave that 0 alone. And this is an easier way how to do this kind of multiplication, instead of lining them up and taking a long time, regrouping and adding a 0. That would take a long time. That's why you would first do 6 times 3, which equals 18, then you add your 0. Now for this, we have 6 times 3, which equals 18. We already solved it up there, but we don't have a 0, so we don't have to add a 0. Now let's, like we did on the last problem, we're going to have to add them up. So 180, and we're going to add 18. Then let's add them up. So 0 plus 8 equals 8. And then 8 plus 1 equals 9. And we have a 1 right here, and we have an imaginary 0. So 1 plus 0 equals 1. So our answer is 198. We broke it up. We broke 33 into from tens to ones. Let's move on to another example here. So let's read the directions here. Represent this equation by breaking it and showing it in a mathematical picture. You do not have to solve. So the directions say that break it up and show it into a mathematical picture, and we have a break of solving it. So let's first break up 12. So we have 4 times, let's see what we have here. We have 1 in the tens place, so it would be 4 times 10. And then we have 4 times, we have a 2 in the ones place, so it is the same, so 4 times 2. Now we do not have to solve it. Well, now all we have to do is just show this into a mathematical picture. So then let's draw 4 blocks because of 4 here. That's 1 block, 2, 3, and 4. And then the multiplication sign. Now, since we're broken 12 from tens to ones, we have ones in the tens place, so we're going to have to draw 10 blocks. So that's 1 block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So then we do 10 blocks on the multiplication sign. And then we have 2 in the ones place, so it would just be 2 blocks. And there you go. That's our picture of the multiplication equation broken up. So we have 4 blocks because we have 4 here. We broke about 12, which are 10 and 2. So that's 10 and 2. Let's move on to our next example here. 2 times 13. Now let's just solve. We're going to solve it, and like we did with the other problems. So 2 times. Let's see what we have in our times place here. We have a 1, so it'd be 2 times 10. Let me just fix that 0 there. That doesn't look like a 0. So 2 times 10, and then we have a 3 in the 1's place, so just 2 times 3. 2 times 3. Now what we have to do is we have to multiply these, and then we have to add them together. So 2 times 10, 2 times 10 equals 20. And then we have 2 times 3 equals 6. Now let's line them up and add them. 20 plus 20 plus 6. And without even doing it from 1s to 10s, you already know that'd be 26. But just to clarify, so we have 0 plus 6 equals 6, and then imaginary 0, 2 plus 0 equals 2. Now for this problem, I want you guys to solve it, breaking it apart, and comment down below if you got it right or wrong, and please comment down below the answer. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please comment down below how we can make our videos better, or if you have any technical issues, if you want to try something like this, and if you have technical issues, please comment down below and we can help you. Please like, share to your friends, and subscribe to this channel. My name is Abhiram Pawan. Tell me how I can make my videos better. And please follow us on Instagram. Please stay safe in this quarantine, and have a good day. Thank you so much for watching.